As Congress fights over the debt limit, the economy showed some welcome signs of life this week. The Dow was up nearly 170 points on Friday. For the week, the index gained almost 650 points, or about 5.5%, and that is the best week for the Dow in 2 years. U.S. car sales are up about 7% last month compared to the year before, and gasoline prices, they continue to fall. So joining us now with a look at what this number means and all of these numbers means is Chrystia Freeland, editor of Thomson Reuters Digital. Great to have you with us, Chrystia, as always.
Great to be here. Good morning.
So here you see the Dow, best performance in 2 years for the week. Does that mean that this soft patch that the economy hit over these last couple of months is really behind us?
I don't think it means that happy days are here again, but I think that it does mean that, those fears that people were starting to express about a double dip recession, I think that those are receding a little bit. And, there was a lot of debate about what happened in May, why the numbers were so terrible. And some people were saying, look, this is not a sign of the U.S. economy falling off a cliff again. This is mostly the Japan effect. Remember the tsunami and the earthquake?
Yes.
That really disrupted the global economy and supply chains. And, Ben Bernanke in particular was saying that this is the consequence of that. And the strong performance in June, and especially, I think what I took the most comfort from was manufacturing. Manufacturing confidence really rebounded, and that is a forward-looking long-term indicator. So that should be what cheers us up for the 4th of July weekend.
Yeah, and manufacturing, of course, it's a small component of the economy overall, about 10%, but it's been about half of the growth that we've seen since coming out of the recession. So a lot of people look at manufacturing as a big indicator. You mentioned the Japan quake, but gas prices were also another big headwind on American consumers, which drive the economy. Now they're down more than 20 cents in the last month. What does that change in terms of consumer spending and consumer attitudes going forward?
It's huge. It's huge because gas is a big part of people's bills, especially now, and it has a big impact on people's confidence, especially going into the summer when people are driving a lot. So I think that fall in gas prices is really, really significant. And, it's good news for the part of the economy that relies on consumer spending, which has actually been pretty weak. And even that car number that you cited, good for U.S. car makers, but overall, car purchasing was down, again, partly because of the Japan effect. There just weren't those Japanese Hondas and Toyotas out there for people to buy.
Yeah, it's such a good point. Jobs still front and center. Even though we have this debt ceiling battle going on, everyone's looking to Washington saying, what are you going to do about this? The June number for the June jobs comes out next Friday. People are expecting that we're going to hear about 100,000 new jobs were added. We know that's not enough to drive real significant growth and driving down the unemployment rate. But what do you see as the jobs picture going forward for the second half of the year?
Well, I think it has to get better. It's been so anemic in the first half of the year. I think the real issue is how quickly does it improve? Because the issue is you need to add about 150,000 jobs per month just to tread water. That's how many new people are coming into the workforce. And as you know, Rebecca, the really big issue is the long-term unemployment rate is incredibly high, higher than it's been since the Second World War. That becomes a really big social and political problem. Those people, it becomes harder and harder to get back to the workforce if you've been out of work for more than 6 months, and a lot of people have been.
Well, it's a good point. We'll end it there. Chrystia Freeland, thanks as always for being with us. We appreciate it.
Great pleasure.